Hi, welcome back to Alpha Men Talk. This is Walk with Shane. Okay, probably, you know what, that's a good shout. We're gonna have to talk like this today. It's quite windy. Had a bit of, let's see what that. So I've got out quite early this morning because we're due a bit of rain later, and I don't particularly want to get caught in that. And as you can see, the path, I'm walking the old path, the farm today. Only reason being is everywhere's just waterlogged. And don't get me wrong, I love trouncing through the mud as much as the next person, but yeah, not today. Do you know what? So one thing that's been on my mind this week that I wanted to talk about, and something that me and my friends been talking about quite a lot recently, about access, right? Access to your life. And I was thinking, and I'm gonna put in a sort of analogy out there. Tell me what you think, okay? So the way you see it with access, right? Can you imagine a boxing match, right? So let's say Wembley, 80,000 sold out, whatever, fraud. So let's imagine Wembley, right? So you're the fighter, okay? Now, the guy opposite you, or the woman, whatever, the guy opposite you, okay, they want to hurt you. He wants to hurt you. He wants to win. He wants to beat you. Okay, so we're called the opposition of life. Okay, so life is there trying to batter you down. Okay, knock you out. Now, the people closest to you in life, your corner men, right? So they're a very small group of people, and they've got your back, and they want you to grow. They're encouraging you to get stronger and faster, and you know, those core friends, yeah, corner men. And then you get the people around the edge of the ring, yeah. So you got the VIPs. Now they could be, you know, good friends, not quite in your corner, but on a peripheral. They've come to watch you. They've come to watch you win. So those people, you know, they're your good friends. Not closest, but they're your good friends. And then the further out the crowd goes are the people who are not necessarily there to watch you win, but they want to show anyway. Yeah, so those people don't have access to you, but they will watch you. They want to see if you're winning. Some of them might even want to see you get knocked out. And then you got the people right at the top in the crowd. People don't really care. They're there. There's a ticket going. Now that's the closest thing I could probably say what life is. It's like a boxing match. The guy in the corner is life, the opposite corner is life. Your corner men are your closest friends, and so on and so on, as I've just said. And it's all about access. Yeah, it's all about access. And let's not forget the media. Yeah, the media is your socials, isn't it? You know, they're going to chuck caresses at you and comments at you. Call you this, call you that, claim this, claim that. And it got me really thinking, using that analogy of what life is and how much access we actually give people that don't necessarily deserve it. Can you imagine that guy up in the crowd, up in the skies, in your corner, be giving you bad advice? Yeah, he's just there for the show. So that's the best way I can describe it. So tell me what you think. Leave a comment. And yeah, you might be thinking that's full of shit, but I've been thinking about it, and that's the closest thing I can think of. Okay. Well, the whole point of that was it has got me thinking about access, and I think as you get older, that you know, that access circle gets smaller, doesn't it? and rightly so, or wrongly so. But it also got me thinking about friendships in general. Friends that come and go. You always hear that, like a religious quote, but God putting people in your path, at the right time. Some friends are made to come and go, aren't they? Some friendships last a lifetime. I've got a few friends that I would say, just because we don't hang out every day, we're going to be friends for life. And yeah, do you know, the more I think about it, the harder it is to accept sometimes when your life does change for the better or worse. It's very hard to, because what you start doing then, you're like, who was there for me? Who was around when I needed them? And I think sometimes that can be quite harsh in itself, saying it like that, because these friends might not necessarily know that they're needed, or that they're not doing enough, because friendships are only as good as the energy you put in, right? I don't know. I think I don't know. I've got in my own head this week. I think, especially with the conversations, like I said, with my friend, and we've been talking about access, and rightly so. And like I said at the start, that analogy I think is perfect. It is, people. I obviously, as well documented now, that I sort of raised my social media, got rid of a load of people on there, and it's funny looking at it because a lot of people have tried re-adding me. They're like, oh, friend request, and a lot of time those pages are only open because of Half Men Talk, so I need them to link through the pages. I don't really go on. I don't post anything. I don't go on there. So this is my message basically to everyone. I'm not ignoring you. I don't go on it, and my Facebook page is only open, very close friends and family, but because of the link to Have Men Talks, because I opened up as a page. I might need to open it up as a proper profile, but that's for another day. So yeah, so it's a bit sad because obviously I want to, every single one say, look, it's not you. I just don't use this platform anymore or whatever. Now, as you know, I'm an overthinker. Hi, my name's Shane. I'm an overthinker, and I try not to be. I try to especially recently, I've tried to think more in the present as opposed to thinking of the past or the future. And I think that was half of my troubles. I got in my own head. Oh, what if they don't like me? What if this happens? What if this happens? When in reality, it's not going to happen. But don't stop you from thinking it. So I just try not to think about it now and just go with it. Just, I'll do it. Let's go. Come like mates. Yeah, let's do it. I think as you get older as well, you get a bit of peace inside you. You don't necessarily fear too much. I do not. There's saying that there was something I heard the other day which I thought was quite good, and someone was saying, like, can you imagine? Because we wake up and we're like, oh, one more day. Like, oh, I've made it, one more day. But change that mentality instead of thinking, oh, I'm alive, one more day. Think of it as one less day. And what I mean by that is if you were told you've got 1 year exactly to the day to live, you'd count every single day and you'd make every single day the best that you could, right? Because you've got a year. And I think we have this motion, don't we, in sort of in our lives that we've got all the time in the world, and we could drop dead at any point, myself included, obviously, anyone can drop dead at any point, right? So that's what I'm trying to live by a little bit more now. Is not. Don't get me wrong. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. It's not like, say, what's that film with Jim Carrey in it? He's yes, everything's yes, and yes, man. It's like change your mentality. Yes, yes, yes to everything. Like I don't. That's not. Just not feasible, right? But I think memories. I think your own fears get in your head, and you miss out on so much. So yeah, so I think this year, especially I've told myself, do more, be less afraid, and let's see what happens. Do you know what? I was going to take that path there, right? And it leads through the woods. Now, you've probably seen that on episode 1, 2, or 3, possibly 2 or 3. And that's the no-no. I already know that that's going to be boggy, wet, very muddy. So we're just going to walk back. Right, okay. So this week, managed to get over to Sunflowers and donate the £1,000 we raised from last year on the charity event. And I had a good sit down with Abby and Chloe and said hello to the team. Great team. And I sounded a bit like Trump then, didn't I? Great team. Don't know what that gets me. Yeah, anyway, focus. So, sat down with them, had a good chat with them, like what I want to do this year as well. So hopefully get some media posts going so they can share as well, get some interest in that. But one thing they're doing as well this year is a masquerade ball. And I've been to a good sort of like party, like, that for years. So, I want to jump on that. I said to the missus about it. £60 a person, table of 10, 600 quid. So we can get 10 people for that. That'd be great. Missus is up for it. She's got to get some friends to come along. But, so that was good. It was nice to finally get that money over them. For one reason or the other, we've just been missing each other to get it over. And hopefully this year we can raise a lot more for them. So, and not just them. Like I said, we've got Man Up as well. So hopefully get their money to them as well. So talking about sponsorship then. So we had our first company sponsor us this week. JBS Mechanical. My friend Jordan. And so that was well happy with that. Straight in, bang, no messing around. So I'm hoping floodgates will open now. I've done a nice little post to announce it. So yeah, welcome aboard. And I don't think they're playing. It's just, again, see, there's a lot of people think that they got to play. You don't have to play. Just give me your money, basically. Sponsor and all, get your name out, and that's it. I think a lot of people get confused with that. They're like, "Oh, I don't really play golf." I'm like, don't have to play. Don't have to play. Just sponsor a hole. I'd love to raise, I know it's very ambitious, but I'd love to get between 8 and 10 grand. Now, I know what you're thinking, but got aim high, aren't you? So when I'm on the road next, Ultimate, and start asking people, basically, look, sponsor my day. I know my company well. I know Ultimate got sponsor and all. Hopefully I can get my boss to come along this year as well. He had to pull out last year, which was a shame, but there was a lot going on. So, but he, we haven't played together yet, actually. It keeps going on how good he is. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Calling you out, David. Nah, all good. I'm looking forward to it this year, actually. I went for a bit of a spell, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it again because of the disappointment of last year, where we had to change the day. We lost half of the players. I was going to say applicants then. Yeah, we lost half of the players, so that was quite, especially with all the hard work that goes into it behind the scenes. People don't see it. So hopefully this year, get it done early, get it locked down early, and sort of go from there. But yeah, no, I'm excited about it. Like I said, the had a good. I'll tell you what, actually. So started having some conversations with a guy who does just some great work around Gloucester, and his name's Tom, and he has this bus, so it's called Chance for Change, and he basically supports young people in a nutshell, right? Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. Goes around schools, talks, and he was on a BBC radio, BBC Gloucester radio this week as well, talking about what he does. So yeah, so that was good listening to that, and I had a few conversations about meeting up and talking about what we could do together, because I love stuff like that, right? And I'll tell you why, because you know, these people don't have to do the things they do. He doesn't have to do what he does, and I'm all about championing that, right? I want people to see, especially in the Gloucester area, I want people to see, these local heroes. These people are putting themselves about there for change. Like we've had a few discussions as well. But like he's like, oh yeah, we can talk about what you do and this and that. And I was like, mate, I don't really do it. It's not me. Like, it's the people. I'm telling your story, not mine. I haven't got a story. Well, I mean, I have, but that's just me, just one person talking about his life. And obviously I have interviews with people, but it's their stories they're coming in to talk about, and it's their inspiration to keep going that keeps me going, and the things that they do inspires me also. Anyway, so we're talking about Tom, yeah, so the great thing he does. And it got me thinking about the other sort of people in Gloucester that do great things. So I'm going to start searching. And one of the things I wanted to do as well, you tell me if you would watch this. Now, I want to get out of the police, fire brigade, and someone from the NHS, something just to talk about frontline NHS, because I want to talk about how they deal with their mental health. Now they see, their fair share of violence, negativity, death, and how do they deal with it? Like I couldn't do what they do. I'm too soft. I really am, and I'd love to know how they deal with, and the support they get as well. We always think with police and fire brigade and doctors and all that, there, I suppose they do get a bit desensitized to it, which is fair enough. But do you know what I mean? Oh god, taking that at home. I'd love to know how they do it and the support they get. So this is what I was talking about last week, about thinking for yourself, looking after yourself, and be careful also as you who you open up to, because not everyone is your friend, and not everyone's gonna care. There's a lot of people might use it against you. As sad as that sounds, is reality, okay? And I don't think we'll ever change that. Personally, I don't. I mean, people will say, "Oh, you can tell me, I won't tell anyone," or "Your secret's safe in me." And I think we learn. That's a good thing. We learn that quite young, don't we, as kids? We learn that quite young, especially in the school era. You tell a friend something, and the next thing you know, it's all over the school, and your trust is betrayed. And they always say that saying, like the scars. You're never scarred by the people that are meant to do you harm. It's always the scars that people you cared for that hurt you. Those are the ones that hurt the most. The dickheads, you can expect it almost. Quite negative today, aren't I? I don't mean to be. It just gets me thinking. Some days, some weeks, that's all I think about. I think, do you know what? People. I'd love to understand people. And I try. People watch it, and I try, and I'm like, why are they doing that? Why are they feeling like that? But ultimately, it's human nature, right? So, yeah, work that one out. I hope you've enjoyed the video so far. Been a bit of a mix. And I've been quite excited for this walk today because that analogy stuck in my head quite early, and the more I thought about it, it's like, yeah, do you know, that's so true. It's a shame that people, don't. People just want to watch you burn, don't they? Or they want to see your story, but they don't want to be involved in it. You know, a lot of people watch it because they might feel shit in their own lives. Instead of doing something about it, they want to see someone else burn, so they can criticize them. It's like that meme, like a gymnast. I think it's on the floor and she does a move and she falls over, and there's this fat guy on the sofa with like a bowl of crisps on his lap, and he's like, "Ha, loser." Do you know what I mean? People who don't even try in life or even give it a go, they're the ones who criticize. You never hear people who. It's like that. You go into a gym. You think you're being judged. You're not. The people who are in that gym every day, they look at you and they love it. They're like, "Oh yeah, look at him, working, trying." You know, happy people don't put people down. Negative people do, and it's easy to criticize others when you don't even give it a try. And when I say give it a try, I mean everything. Everything. Don't judge someone for a hobby they no stamp collecting, for fuck's sake. Don't judge it. If it makes them happy, who are you to judge? We're all judgy people, aren't we? I am. Not I ain't like I have. I've judged people. Probably still do now, to be fair. But I think I recognise it. I recognise my sort of toxic traits, as they call it, and I'm working on them. Can you say the same? If you're the same person you were 10 years ago, something's gone wrong on it, right? The reason I say that is mentalities change. Yeah? Ideas change, mentalities change. So if you don't adapt with, I'm not saying they have to change everything about you, principles and all, but understanding, I suppose, is a key word here. I always laugh. When you... Do you know what? Let's get into that. That's a good point. What's your thoughts on this, right? So, whitewashing history. So, basically, trying to erase history, right? Now, one of the things that I remember a couple of years ago in Bristol when they poured that statue into the water in the canal, and the guy, I think, was he built loads of Bristol, built like massive parts of Bristol, but I think he made part of his money or most of his money on the slave trade. Now we can all agree from the start, slave trade was wrong. My argument here is it happened, right? You can't erase it. Is it not better to educate? Put a plaque there. Put a plaque up saying how he made his money. Because the thing is, at that time, right, that was the norm. Whether we agree with it or not, that was the norm. It's the same way they used to burn women, calling them witches, if they had an ounce of intelligence. But we don't really look back and talk about that, do we? We just go, oh yeah, bad time in history. Same as slave trade. It was a bad time in history. Educate. That's the only way we grow, right? As a civilization, as a people, as whatever, as humanity, the only way we grow is by learning from the past. And one of the biggest things for me is the narrative changes then, because that will still be in history books. People will be about, but when they want to talk about it, I'm like, oh, like, miss, what happened with this? Oh, it was this. It was this. Without saying anything factual, they're just going to make it up and go, oh, it was this. They've done that. Do you know what I mean? And then kids start believing that, and then there's a new history, isn't it? Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't rewrite history. Educate. I don't know. Just me, I suppose, but I think I don't know, it might be the younger generation. They're like, oh, that was terrible. Rip down the statue. I mean, I suppose a statue is almost, it's an idol, isn't it, really? Like, you see it every day. And look, he must be a great man. He must have done great work. People not even bothering to read the plaque. So I get it from that point. Don't want people to see that. I mean, you ain't going to pull up a bloody statue of Adolf Hitler, are you? Do you know what I mean? You know what he done. Everyone knows what he done. But that's history, you know? Like, we learn about that, don't we? We learn about it so it can never happen again. Learn about the slave trade so that can never happen again. I mean, there are people now, like they say about people now, basically, with the slave trade. You know, it still happens in certain communities and certain countries, but I don't know. I'm rambling a little bit, but you get the idea. I don't think we should try and whitewash history. I don't think we should try and erase it. It's education is the best form. It's how we grow. Yeah, it's how we grow. Same way with science or, to be fair, science is probably one of the best things. You know, that's something that's evolved over the years. I mean, God, not God. We thought we evolved around. The sun evolved around us. Revolved around us. We thought that. We thought the Earth was flat. There are some people who still think that, mind. But science changes, right? So we're constantly evolving. The same way with history, we should learn history to constantly evolve with how we adapt and how we talk to each other as people. And I've had this we've had this conversation on the last, I think it was 2 videos back, about the government sort of like grinding you down and making you hate people and this and that. And we're told every day everything's wrong and we're in danger and doom and gloom. So let's use it as a lesson. It's just my opinion, obviously. I think we should educate. All right, let's leave it there, Shane. Well, as always, thanks for watching, and hope you've had a good week, and I hope you have another good week coming up. And as always, like and subscribe. Look in the link in the bio for that. And have a good week. Be good to each other, as always. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't think we need to go any more there. Yeah, be good to each other. And this is Shane Mitchell. I've been Shane Mitchell. This has been Healthy Men Talk. Thanks for watching.